Count me in. Are we live? Oh hey. We are live. Hi. Welcome to Lords and Ladies of Fate. Welcome to our very special recap edition. We sadly missing one blue bastard. So we decided to pin through a lot in 717. You guys believe that?
Just fly.
I know. If you would have asked me yesterday how many episodes we had, I would have told you like 10,
Yeah,
7.
I'll
So, oh, echo. Okay. How about now? Can we get a verification on how the audio is now? Okay, good. There we go. Should we take it from the top? Welcome, Lords and Ladies of Fate. We are having a very special recap addition to our stream. A lot has happened in 17 long weeks, and we just thought that we'd take the time to kind of go over all of that. It's a lot. It really is. I was planning on 1 or 2 sentences for each episode. This is what I got. It's a lot. So, I was channeling my inner Tolkien when I was typing this. Ooh, all right. Well, I do also have a couple surprises. I'm going to be asking the audience, I'm asking you, chat, some questions as we go through. We'll award some fate chips too to see if you remember things as well as I do, because I just watched this stuff like 20 minutes ago. I think this is a great time also to talk about episode 0, because we didn't record that. That was our little test to make sure logistically everything ran smooth. How did that work out for us?
the lost episode.
The lost episode followed by an hour of double talk.
I don't even think I recorded that, to be honest.
No. So I mean, it's a good time to let you know. Cannot hear Ryan D Games.
How about now? How about now?
Or how about now?
How about now?
How now, Brown Cow? All right.
I think they're actually celebrating.
While we're waiting, there he is. Perfect. Okay.
I can shut this stream right down.
Because there is no recorded evidence of this session ever happening, the details are a little fuzzy. What I remember from that is we were all in the town of Hampstead. Everyone was there for their own various reasons, and some woman named Katerina was trying to get people to take a bus up to, what was that? Maestro Duke's illustrious circus. And that's kind of where all of us met and started forming loose bonds. I'll call them loose bonds because adversarial would be a good word to describe us in some situations.
It's like the start of a bad joke. It's a Leyline Walker, a bounty hunter, ranger, and Blue Sea Water Warlock walk into a bar.
But yeah, from there, at the very end of the session, we just had a little mini battle to kind of get us into the swing of things. And from where we start off at episode 1, we are all making our way to the Cargonaut. Ryan, do you want to tell us a little bit about do you want to tell us a little bit about the Cargonaut? Because we reference this thing so often.
Oh my gosh, the Cargonaut is my favorite. There's basically the only thing I like about Rips is vehicles. Everything else I could take or leave, but the vehicles are a trip, and I spend more time looking at like the vehicle specifics and like what I want to do with it than probably any other aspect of Hype's character. explaining the intense depth of character Hype possesses. There's definitely more character depth in the Cargonaut than Hype, at least at the outset. And actually, I have a great picture of the Cargonaut in full color.
Ooh,
Hold
let's see
on.
that.
Oh, that would make sense. That if I switch streams, the audio is probably a lot different because none of these sources are on those streams. Okay, this is why they don't let me lead the stream more often.
So we're learning now that the amount of work that our dungeon master has to do on a weekly basis is a lot.
To be fair, it took him 3 weeks to get it right too.
This is
And I still
true.
don't have it right.
This is true. Our first episode on YouTube is like an hour and 20 minutes long because 45 minutes of that was spent trying to figure out why you could hear us multiple times. So
Maybe
I guess
we should divert the funds from the Endometriosis Foundation to buy Nat some video editing software first.
hey, I see streamers doing this all the time. So, I guess let's go over some of the big points from each episode. We'll start at episode 1. You know, the gang goes to the circus, pretty much. You know.
Well, hold on.
So
a
I want to
second.
touch on something
Yeah.
real quick too. So when we lost the audio when we're showing the Cargonaut, Ryan was talking about how the only thing he really loves about Rifts is the vehicles, and I do want to say for the game system that is overly detailed, obsessively so. It really does have something in it for everybody. Like, you know, I'm not a big weapons person, but I've known guys that play this that all they talk about are different weapons that exist in this world. And, you know, I like the character classes and the dynamics of the, you know, all the races and the versatility of what you can do with it. You know, so like there's always something that everybody kind of likes. It's got something for everybody, which is why it's cool. That was all I was going to say.
Yeah, and this is my first experience with Rifts. I've dabbled in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, which is going to be the next stream that we're going to be trying to do weekly. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm very, very pleasantly surprised at the level of in-depthness. I mean, for God's sake, Dwyer has an ability called spelunking. Show me the role play book that gives you a skill roll for spelunking.
D&D 5th
One.
edition, you're going to want the Caverns of Vernoth expansion.
All right. So I guess let's just get right into it. So we'll go episode 1, Gang Goes to the Circus. So right at the beginning, everybody kind of splits off. Dwyer goes and follows Rungus. Because, I mean, who wouldn't follow a giant blue lizard? He begs to be watched. That is where Dwyer decided that he was going to set himself as the agent of chaos, if you will. Uses his magic to kind of screw Rungus out of getting fish, and then uses magic to get his own fish. What else happened here? We had Billy. Billy ended up going and meeting a contact who pushed him towards his character arc, sending him off to Merktown to find. Was it? You didn't meet the cartographer.
I
That was
did.
yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay. So we're moving on. What do we got? Actually, I did make a note of this. Billy had a one-liner redemption. I think this might have been the first one-liner we had, and this is why I made a note of it. To say something suggestive to his contact. Billy, do you remember what you said? It's okay if you don't, because I wouldn't have
I think it
remembered.
had something to do with nuts, didn't it?
It did. You started off by saying,
and it was like, and could you tell me where I could find some hot nuts or something like that?
yeah. You said,
And I had to be
hey,
insistent about it.
are you by any chance into guys who are looking for their missing sons and have hot nuts? So, I mean, I really feel like that kind of set the tone for what we were going to end up doing here. You know? Because I remember Hot Posh Nuts. Do you remember Hot Posh Nuts?
Yeah,
I also remember Katarina. She was in this one, guys.
she was.
Who? Was that the diversity hire?
Hype then went and played a game. So here's what I'm gonna do. If anyone in chat can tell me which one of the carnival games that Hype went and played here and what he won, I'm gonna give you Fate Chips.
I don't even know that.
I was gonna ask you, but I feel like it's more fun to ask them.
Yeah,
They have a-
definitely.
Better chance of knowing? No, we don't.
I mean, if they're quick with it, I guess they could go back and scrub through to try to find it. Timestamp 14. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't write the timestamp down.
They would also benefit from the fate chips more than us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just funnel my fate chips to
Okay.
Atlas when I need a skill boost.
Good Devil says he won Goldfish, and I want to say the shooting game. No. Where are we? Bruce Gaskin says. Vampire Sprayer. No.
I know I played the ladder thing, but I don't think I played it first.
No, and you also did not win the ladder thing.
No, I didn't win the ladder thing. I think the DM fucked up and didn't let me use my good rolls.
Yeah, I think I failed at the ladder thing too.
Because Hype, as a professional wrestler, has skills like tightrope walking, which should have given me a giant advantage at that game.
So we're just going to gloss over the fact that you said tightrope.
Tightrope walking.
K, ball toss. Nope. Before. Bruce Gaskin, we are in the before times. We're currently discussing episode 1.
It was
Why is Bruce Gaskin
Lord
in the
of,
chat? I
Lord
thought
of the
he
Anal Ring.
Bruce, just enjoy your vacation. Nat, you
Tightrope.
too. Nat, what are you doing? Nat, you're on vacation.
What?
You're obviously sitting in a hotel room.
Yeah.
All right, so to keep this moving along, I'm going to go ahead and tell you all. He played Whack-A-Worm.
On stream?
Well, I mean, we can't really see anything from here down, so who knows?
And with those carnival games, so I spent a lot of time researching carnival games and actually how they all worked, so that I could come up with logistical in-game ways to create the successes and fails for those. So every carnival game actually takes 2 separate types of skill sets in order to accomplish.
I personally think you did a great job with those. I only played the one game, but every single time I was watching any of the other characters play a game, I felt like they were at a carnival standing there getting ripped off by a carny.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, you won one murder ball.
Is that in my inventory?
Oh, we're gonna get to your mysterious inventory here in a moment. I've got some questions for you.
I better open my sheet.
Yeah.
Now's a good time to make any edits you might have missed.
Right. Let's see. Dwyer finally kissed a girl. I mean, wait, no. I mean, he kissed another girl. Just one peck in the long line of his conquests. Don't forget I said that.
Conquests? What are you, Genghis Khan? Conquest
Yes,
implies a lack of consent.
90%. When you put it like that, yeah, we should.
How about we just refer to it as his penis dynasty?
You're at like an 11 right now. I'm gonna need you to take it down to like a 6,
Like 6 or 7.
like a 6,
Let's see.
maybe a soft
Didn't-
6.
Didn't Rungus win goldfish and ate those fish? No. Good Devil, if you remember, I used my magic to make him not win, and then I went behind him and used my magic to win. And then he did not wait for me to give him the fish. He took them from me. So that's why I said adversarial is a good way to describe how our group was towards each other in the beginning. And you know what? We're going to have a talk with Billy later, but that'll be later.
About what?
I don't know. Maybe your background.
What did I do now?
I found my notes from Stream Zero, by the way, Armand.
Oh! Do you have anything good? Anything juicy?
Dwyer annoying, Billy Cop, Rungus creep, DM bumbling, and Katarina diversity hire.
Huh. It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned Billy as a cop because after
cop
the
vibes
kissing
right
booth,
away.
after the kissing booth, Katarina goes to get food. Billy does as well. He asks for a liter of cola, and Hype asks, "Are you a cop?" And this is the first in a string of many Billy is a cop jokes that you're going to hear. And then, towards the end of the stream, Hype played one more game. Hype, do you remember what game you played?
It's the fucking ladder.
Nope.
Oh, it was after the
Not
ladder?
Nope, this is before the ladder.
Before the ladder. Vampire squirting game?
No. Ding.
Oh, the strength, the test of strength. Yeah. 'Cause
You did win. You did win this one as well. After a failed attempt, you played again. Do you remember what you won? Wait. Before I ask you, does anyone else out there? We've got a Kim out there. Hey, guys, everyone, say hi to the cast member who is currently kidnapped. Everyone, say hi to her in chat.
Kim, just tell us where you are.
Yeah, tell us where we're.
We'll come get you.
I swear to God, if you're not in Tolkien, we've wasted like 3 episodes.
I think she's in Gettysburg.
Where's that in Rifts?
East.
We're gonna keep this moving a little bit. I'm gonna give everybody fate chips for not knowing this because honestly, you really shouldn't
I'm
remember
going
this.
to give everybody 10 fate chips every time Armand says we're going to keep this moving.
Yep. Oh, then you're gonna be giving out a lot of fate chips. One poncho. Literally, the prize lists for both of the games you won were a list of stuffed animals, like plush this, plush that, plush this. Each table had one thing that wasn't a plushed animal, and you took both of those: the murder ball and the poncho. You even said, "You know what? I think the poncho might come in handy."
I feel like it did.
Did it? Did you use the poncho for your Dwyer cosplay?
It could be part of the Dwyer cosplay. It very well could be. I should find a picture of that.
Well, that was
Sure. I might be confusing games, but I think you used the poncho for something.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, I am currently playing 2 Rifts campaigns where Nat is the DM, and it is the biggest mindfuck ever. Because I'm always like, wait, is this the one where I have the Cargonaut or the Mountaineer ATV? Or is this the one where I have the Triax beam weapon or the other thing? Or is this the one where I have the forked penis or the cybernetic penis? And it turns out it's both. So, bonus trivia for next time.
and that was pretty much the end of episode 1.
Yeah, that's my recollection as well.
Let's see. What happened in episode 2? Anyone remember? It was more carnival, obviously.
Twilight fan fiction.
That came towards the end. No glittering though. We had our run-in with the fortune teller finally. She only gave me a reading, even though me and Rungus were fighting to get there. She told me that I had friends in the carnival and they would help me through a very troubling time, dangerous time. And we find out that the fortune teller's niece just so happens to be Katerina, the person who got us to this godforsaken circus to begin with. It's all
Gypsies.
connected.
Why
Gypsies.
they have to be gypsies?
Let's see. Katerina goes around and gathers us all up. She tells us about her aunt's vision. Also, noticed something around this time? Rungus sounds like my friend Chris. Doesn't really sound like Rungus. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if that was a continuity error or what was going on, but just does not sound like Rungus. Maybe it's...
Sometimes it takes a while for us to find our voice.
Oh, and we will be. This is going to be the start of Rungus Speak Tracker. So as we're going through the episodes, I'm going to tell you how close we are to whatever it is that
To
that he
Rungus
does.
deciding he's like a freaking, sea creature.
Well, I mean,
Lucy. I mean, he's a sea creature.
right. Well, I mean, like look at episode 17 and episode 1. I listened to Rungus speak in episode 17, and that's Rungus. I hear him. That's him.
He
I listened
sounds,
to that.
honestly, Rungus to me is like the middle point between like a Murloc and the Jolly Green Giant.
He's like half Chewbacca, half Barney.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
That is a good one too.
Let's see. Rungus and Hype have a little bit of a bonding session. I'm using that word loosely. They go play the Plenty of Fish game, of course, because Rungus wants more fish. I just have a question for you, Ryan. Does Hype still have 5 goddamn fish in his backpack? I just want to know, because you won 5 fish. You put them in your backpack. I saw you feed 1 to Rungus throughout the course of all the episodes that I've watched. 1. So that means, by my count, you have 4 dead fish swimming around in a goddamn bag in your backpack.
Yeah, and a pack of baby wipes and Katerina's nipple ring.
Don't jump ahead.
It'll be like the pancakes on the cruise.
I'm updating.
God.
I'm updating the fish to be dead because you're right. After all this time,
Please do. And that's another thing I needed to ask to make sure that you had that on your character sheet, because that was great.
Yeah, I do.
At this point, we had a couple of characters on the Ferris wheel, and then a resident favorite of the stream here, Good Devil, purchased his very first one-liner. Does anyone remember what that one-liner was?
What was the episode date?
I didn't write that down. Should I have?
Second week of July, probably.
Wasn't it if you know what I mean, or if you know what I'm saying, or something like that?
No, I think we add that later.
Mm-hmm.
There?
Because I have one from Good Devil from the 4th of August memorialized on my my wall.
Yeah, that's too late. This is
No,
July.
This was one of the first moments where almost every single cast member broke. The phrase was "pop pop fizz fizz." Oh, what a relief it is.
Oh,
Which prompted a debate about, I think, what the actual terminology was.
Whether it
'Cause
was
it's
plop
plop,
pop or plop
it's
plop,
definitely
exactly.
plop plop.
Mhm. Yeah, I think if I'm remembering this correctly, Ryan, you said, "Isn't it plop plop?" And I came back hard with, "Don't listen to Ryan. He's always wrong. This is definitely not right." And then Chris was like, "No, you are right. It is plop plop." And I'm like, "No, but he typed pop pop, so that's what we're doing."
Yeah. The first of many instances of you underestimating my intellect.
And that won't be that was the first, but it's not the last. Absolutely.
Hey.
From there, we went to a moment that I completely do not remember. The Big Ten. This happened. I was watching it. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because I don't remember.
You were dreaming of Tolkien.
No, and then you know what happened? Someone changed from a person into a pig, and then from a pig into a spider. And I think the moment I noticed it was a spider, I completely pushed all of that out of my brain.
Dwyer was still riding that high from that kiss.
Oh yeah,
I remember
was-
that was the first instance of like miniatures Nat spent a ridiculous amount of time painting that I don't think we ever got a really good shot of on camera.
Maybe.
The 3 goblins
Yeah.
in the circus. You
That
need
was-
to
it was a
loan me
whole-
those so I could photograph them on the turntable.
it was a whole show that happened before our eyes. During that show, because Roll20 is a bitch, both Billy and Hype got scared. I'm the one with real life phobia of spiders, and y'all are the ones who got scared. So enjoy that.
I don't like spiders either.
Too many.
In fairness, it was magically enhanced.
Hey, did he get the emails that I've been getting about enhancement? Because that would explain it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm small down there.
This is a little less natural.
Also, this episode was the start of the PE, PP, PPE jokes. In case you don't know, your stats in Rifts are measured in certain things like physical endurance, I think, physical beauty. What's PP?
Psionic passion? Ask your mother.
But yeah, they all stand for something different. And
Physical
if you watch,
prowess.
Ooh, there we go. You will notice anytime Nat tells us to what's our PP or take it out of your PPE, someone makes a joke. We had the line for Titanic start. Dwyer was an asshole and used a spell to scare off somebody so he could be closer to, the first person in the showing. But guys, I don't remember actually going and watching Titanic. Do you? I don't think
it never actually happened.
No, it didn't happen. We'll get to that. Also, Rungus ends up having a midlife crisis. He goes on a dimensional car ride and comes out the other side crying about eating his parents and, what Blue Sea Water Warlocks do.
Existential crisis.
I forgot I had some vodka left in this crystal skull.
Oh, yeah. That was the worst of all of the Indiana Jones vodkas. And also while Rungus was having his little sob session, he called me the Squirrel Man. I really wish that would have stuck. Like, I get called Squirrel Man once and then it just gets glossed over.
Well, now it doesn't apply as much.
Yeah, well,
Why?
oh, and let me tell you, going back and watching the first few episodes, the red flags for Billy were there. The amount of times where he mentions killing some animal or you better watch out or this and that, like, we all should have seen it coming.
He's definitely a cop.
Well, so let's now that you brought that up, let's talk about that for a second. So, if you guys know about his background for his character, he's ex-coalition. Ex-coalition believe that anything that isn't human or was on the Earth before doesn't belong here. So it makes a lot of sense that he's not just Adam's just not like an animal hater. His character makes sense in the fact that he just doesn't like these things. He's got a natural suspicion for.
Oh yeah, no, it makes sense. He's a cop. Definitely makes sense. He's a cop.
Billy has seen some shit.
And I hope we get further into that storyline. We're getting close. We're getting close to some good stuff, I feel. At that point, vampires start showing up. It was literally a cut to black moment almost. as much as our stream can do a cut to black moment. And then we move on to episode 3. Vampire battle begins. Rungus rolls like an idiot and gets relegated to the peanut gallery for, I'd say, about 90% of the episode.
What gets regulated to the Peanuts gallery?
Rungus. I think he rolled like a 3 for initiative and ended up going last. I think we all went like three rounds before he went once. Let's see. Everyone starts moving around. Dwyer moves over to the water guns. Hype does one of his classic hype moment things where he grabs a vampire and chucks it into the dimensional car ride.
Oh, that was so much fun. Well, it took me a couple episodes before I realized what robot strength meant, like relative to the world, and then I was like, "Oh shit! Like I can throw stuff. Like I'm super strong."
Yeah. Hey, before we get too far into episode 3, let's touch on that a little bit. So, what are some of the things about your character like that? Like you have the robot strength. These might be things that people don't catch when they're watching us do the role play.
I would say like the biggest sort of element of Hype's character is that
He's that sensitive heart.
he's a Larmac and he's incredibly lazy, like most of the time. But you like piss him off or get him like tweaked just right, and like he's like, oh well, fuck, like things are gonna happen, right? Like he's pretty capable in terms of his physical combat. But you know, there's like a sort of like the inertia that like he's gonna take the path of least resistance the majority of the time, unless he's like really motivated to like find Katerina because she's missing, and apparently that's important. Or you know, maybe Dwyer pisses him off, so he's gonna dress up like Dwyer to mock him.
After he pouts in the Cargonaut for.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the really difficult things about role playing Hype, because he's like fucking stubborn, and like you have to role play him stubborn if he's stubborn. Like once he thinks something's a dumb idea, he's really unmotivated to go along with it. So and
how do you separate that from the real life Ryan? Is
you
my
role play what you know. You role play what you know. The best characters are just sort of extensions and projections of our own personality. So, and that's what makes it fun, right? Is like, I'm going to be a stubborn prick about this because I think
and you can embellish it a lot more than you can in real life. You know,
I'm a wanted man because I just kicked through someone's chest because it's hard to pull punches.
We were doing them a favor for that.
As it turns out, yeah. But at the time, it was like, oh well, we got to go into town. I mean, we're not even there yet on the we're not. Yeah, we're stopping at the.
I don't think we're gonna get there, but
you know, like Hype had just gotten, you know, basically in trouble with the law, and we were like, oh well, let's go right back to town. Like amidst them looking for me for killing a man, I'm like, fuck that. That's not. Like, at least let me formulate a plan here, because there was the disguise from the ferry. Right, we had the disguises, but they were gonna last like an hour and a half. It's like, I know Hype's luck. He's gonna be like walking.
really only helped us out a little bit on that.
Helped out Lungus a lot.
Oh God, Lungus. Oh, wait till we get to that. Oh man, I can't wait. Okay. Hype also has another wonderful moment where he picks up a token machine and chucks it. You know, and I don't think that token machine really did any damage to any vampires, but it did do damage to a couple of game stalls. This proving that you know, sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. So,
I mean, Nat goes to serious lengths to produce wonderful terrain for the big battles, and I feel like I'm it's sort of like a weird like a, you know, Native American ritual. It's like by destroying his terrain, I'm honoring it.
If you love something, set it free or kill it.
Like, heaven help us if we ever go to Gloomhaven. I'll
Is it
tear
Gloomhaven or
buildings
Maggie?
down.
Bruce had an interesting thought about describing the fate chip system a little bit,
Oh yeah, we should definitely do
how
that.
that works.
We are. Let's get through the rest of episode 3 real quick because we're right smack dab in the middle of it, and then we'll pivot. We'll do a little break here. More fighting keeps happening. At this point, Rungus still hasn't had a turn, so he finally gets his first one, and he decides to start along the path of his lawful good character. Like this is where lawful good Rungus was born, I think. He starts wanting to save. If you remember, there were a bunch of people being attacked by vampires on the Ferris wheel. So Rungus, in true Bluesy fashion, takes a wooden cross out of his hand, puts it in his mouth. We get here, Rungus Speak Watch. We get the only thing he says is a low, guttural grunt. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Let's see. Katarina somehow ends up taking out 2 vampires despite the fact that she's not even there. So, Kim, congratulations. That was really good. Because that's 2 more than I'd say a good half of the rest of the people that were there. Because what? Hype killed 1. Billy got 1. I don't think anyone else got anything. No, Rungus did chop somebody's head off.
The Ferris wheel incident.
Yeah?
I almost killed the second one. The one that was, like, near the gate.
Yeah.
That I, like, sprayed with the fountain water.
Yep. And this is when we started discussing the kazoo of duck summoning. This is early on in the stream where we were still trying to figure out the interconnectivity between us and you all, the chat. So this was kind of the birthplace of how the item system works. And I think talking about this now is a great way to segue into the Fate chip system. So basically, we want to do something different than all of the other people in this category are doing.
What category?
You know, that would be the tabletop RPG category. You can go watch any number of people play Dungeons and Dragons, Rifts, any number of tabletop RPGs. You can watch them do, all of it.
Oh, no.
And they'll sit there and they will play, and that's all they'll do. Will they talk to you in chat? Probably not. We do, because we want that. We want you to be here. We want you to be a part of it. So we devised this Fate chip system where you can interact with us by purchasing things like XP boosts to give your favorite character 50 bonus experience points, which y'all need to do that a little bit more for Dwyer. Things like random items. Driscoll over here knows everything there is to know about magic items. I mean, he's got his own little mini character in our stream. So just the amount of things that we want to do with you, the audience, it's why we're doing this.
I'm a big fan of Dr. Iskill.
You earn your Fate chips simply just by watching. Park your butt in front of your screen and just give us that eyeball, and you'll earn your Fate chips. You don't have to do anything else besides that.
We
give out.
Well, yeah. There's other ways, right? Like, you can appeal to me.
You can certainly try. Can't say it's going to work. But we do all kinds of things. If there's ever a situation in the actual game world where you can bet on what's going to happen, we'll let you guys do that. We had a whole 3-episode race where we took bets on who was going to win. We paid those out in Fate chips. And we are open to suggestions too. That is another big thing that I really want to harp on, because I don't think we talk about that enough. We talk about the Fate chip system in each stream briefly to kind of just refresh people. But we really don't go into depth about how much we really want y'all's input.
Basically, the way Nat is running this campaign is that we lose unless you help. Like, the difficulty is set such that, we get royally screwed over by bad rolls and strong
Because you guys are level
monsters.
1.
I mean, the race, I would not have won. Well, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. I would not have won that race had it not been for the numerous skill bonuses that I got. You know, we all got a lot of skill bonuses during that. I think I still have. Nope, I don't have it written down. I might have some skill bonuses left.
Yeah, I think a couple of you guys do still.
Mm-hmm.
Most of you, I think, have 2.
And we're also working on improving the fate chip system and the redemption process as well with the fate chip overlays.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
we want to make it fun for you guys. We want you guys to see, like, oh, I just bought the fate chip. Oh, it popped up on the screen. That's cool.
I have an image, but we'll have to just switch to it quickly because no one will be able to hear anyone while the image
All right,
is up.
no
Let
one
me show them.
No one talk. No one talk.
Here we go. All right, I switch back.
Okay, good, because I'm still seeing that on the screen.
Yeah, I was like, the lag is like horrendous.
But
right
I mean,
now.
our goal is to have those icons pop up on the people's camera feed, so that way you can see your purchase. You know, not just hear us talk about it, see it too. So basically, that's it. I really want to harp on that suggestion. If you guys want to try something, let us know. Worst case scenario, we'll look at it and go, don't really see how that could work. But I mean, best case scenario, we do it, right?
Well, and there's always like so there's the periodic times where we'll do like a one shot or a special night or something like that where it's not quite the same. Like, I'm really itching at some point down the line to do a night where we do a sort of one shot as us playing the Savage World version of Rifts just to see what the system differences are. And like on nights like that, or like Stream Fighter, or like Aliens, or some of these other great ideas we have for special episodes and one-offs, also affords us the opportunity to kind of fuck around with what we're doing with Fate Chip Redemptions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I'm like way talking with my hand, and it's so delayed. I'm like,
that's the word. That's when you notice it the most.
I
When
know.
you're looking over at it. Yeah.
I'm suddenly
I
Italian.
think I was going to say about the fate chip thing. I feel like my favorite thing about the fate chips is that we've turned one of our starting weaknesses, which is the technical difficulties, into a win for our viewers. So whenever we have a technical difficulty, we always throw out fate chips to everybody for when that happens. So just as another way to get points and being at the beginning of the stream when we start and at the end of the stream when we end. I always try to load those two up so that you guys have enough fate chips to do things with during the stream.
You know, let's just take another quick peek at those fate chips real quick. All
Yeah.
right, here we go.
Let's see them.
Okay, we're back.
Smooth. So
I didn't see it the first time.
Yeah.
So
So please, at any point in time, you know, in the middle of our stream, stop us in the middle, derail what we are doing to tell us what you want. We will take the time to stop what we're doing to acknowledge you and figure it out. Hands down. Down. Kim says those are beautiful fate chips.
Thank you. I spent a good afternoon on them. They need a little more work.
All right. So moving ahead, to keep things moving.
Oh, 10 fate chips.
when we do the next episode, let's go in and talk about the items that they can redeem.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, absolutely. So, episode 4 had more of the vampire battle. There was a very impressive item redeem. Okay. Well, there were a couple impressive item redeems in this episode. So the very first one was a Good Devil item redemption for Rungus. Someone tell me what that was. It started a meme. It started a meme here. Good Devil, you have to know what I'm talking about. You're the one who did it. Get some free Easy Fate chips.
And I think it was Good Devil's homage
No.
to our friend Jeff.
Well, does he like raisins?
Oh, are we past the first item redemption?
I thought the first item was a musical instrument.
Well, I know. I see. Now that's what I thought too. In my brain, that is exactly what I thought too. But you go back to it, the raisins were first, and then we had two more. We're gonna get to those. And in Rungus Speak Watch, we're not quite there yet. He's going back and forth. Going back and forth. You're getting a little, but then you go right back to sounding like a regular dude. Something happened to the fountain. Hype jumped on top of it. It ends up getting blown up later, but that was a Billy grenade. Billy likes those grenades.
They're fun times.
Yep. We had our first glitch redemption as well this episode. Does anyone remember what got glitched?
I remember it pissed me off. I believe it. Oh, I think I know what it is.
It caused a huge commotion and probably made us a few enemies amongst Maestro's circus crew.
Was
No
it
one?
the Ferris wheel?
Yeah, there we go. We got it. There, the Ferris wheel got burnt.
Oh, I was
And
thinking
that's-
of the second glitch.
That's where Rungus did his rescue act.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to be fireman, Blue Sea Water Warlock. And here's the thing, Rungus, if you are watching in the chat, I know you are. You're a water warlock, and you were fighting a fire. Why didn't you use water? You used water from your
Okay.
canteen.
In
Okay.
his defense, there's all sorts of stuff I find when you start playing a new character, like the first 10 sessions, you still haven't committed your entire character sheet to memory, including major things like your class. So, like, it took me, 8 episodes, or 3 episodes to realize I was strong. Like, so I totally get it. I'm still finding out new things about what Hype can do every day. Well, not every day, like once a week.
I do want to acknowledge a past comment here by Atlas. One of the guesses she had made before we had said it was the raisins. She had said the trident. No, the trident's actually Rungus's starting weapon. He started off with that trident, didn't he?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Now, we had 2 item redemptions almost back to back here. We had the all-powerful Kazoo of Duck Summoning. All right. And then a large purple redacted. Wow, that's weird. Who? Redacted. Yeah, so large purple redacted was dropped right in front of
Wasn't
Right
it
in
a
front of the-
wiener sword?
it was a big old wiener sword.
Big old wiener sword. Double-handed wiener sword.
It was a giant Schwartz.
I'm glad Bruce really got a kick out of redacted. Let's see. The former of those 2 items was used to help the group escape. And the latter was dropped in front of the Vampire Lord. This episode also saw 2 deaths, the Kissing Booth Lady and Katarina's aunt.
I thought the Kissing
and-
Booth lady was Katarina's aunt.
No, we
Yeah,
had
it
this
was the
we
fortune
had
teller.
this misconception in the bar later.
Yeah, she was the fortune teller.
Oh,
And no, Billy cannot fix it.
I could definitely have saved her life.
the one
You
from
just put all the
Saints, yeah,
outsides back on
Def-
the inside.
definitely the one from Saints Row.
From
Raise your
that-
hand if you were hit by the giant purple redacted.
I was far away from that.
I took it right to the face.
Dad jokes. Ooh. So Kim wants a dad joke redemption. We can figure something out. I got a list. I'm a dad. I got dad jokes.
How do
but
you
yeah,
know when a joke is a dad joke?
when it becomes apparent.
You are a dad. That confirms it. I
Yep.
had my doubts, but
I believe I did not write this down when I was doing my summary, but I believe Hype gathered up all of our weapons and ushered us to the exit. Like, hey, come on, stop fucking around. We gotta go. And we all escaped. We went back to Hampstead, where the bar was, where we all met, to go get the Cargonaut. And the next episode is onward to Merktown. But before we get into that episode, we do want to talk a little bit about some of the items that you can redeem. Who has a list of that handy?
not me. You should ask me if you wanted me to prep.
Hey,
Chat
I
knows.
listened to 9 episodes of our stream last night at 1.5 times playback speed. So
I made this overlay. You see that animated background? I paid $20 for that. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Some of the items that are available are healing, which is tough to do in this setting, simply because unless you're a mega damage creature, you don't want to take damage too often because you will probably die. Damage is so... The way the Rift works is you have like basic squishy humanoids, and then you have mega damage weapons. Mega damage essentially would do, like, you get about 30, 40 hit points or something to start with, sometimes less. 1 mega damage is equal to 100 hit points. So if you get blasted with a mega damage gun and even only take 1 point of mega damage, you're basically a blood spray. So it's there for characters that are mega damage. If somebody redeemed it on somebody who's like basically got armor, maybe we try to find a way to make that work or something for like an armor repair type deal. But
I think we had Driscoll used that heal to heal my my PPE at one point because I was going through magic spells like crazy.
Driscoll healed your PP.
Thank you, Dr. Iskill, for fixing my PP.
Group heal hasn't really come up because we really haven't had a situation where everybody's taken a massive amount of damage at one time. We have the XP bonus, which basically, we give. I think we've upped it to 50 points, right? 50 points of XP for each time that's redeemed. And then there's an XP drop, which we've also seen a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Some salty lords and ladies out there.
Yeah, well, sometimes if people aren't playing in character or aren't doing things the way that the audience thinks that it should be done, then that's what it's there for.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
There's that too. Then you've got the skill bonuses, which we've used quite a bit of, and we'll get to that, I think, a little bit more when we get to Merktown. But basically, it's 25% addition to their skill checks. And the neat thing about this is that because you guys are level 1, and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, it makes it difficult for you guys to accomplish things because your skill levels aren't as high. It's designed that way intentionally, so that it's not as easy to do things. Though you are heroes in this story, so giving the audience the ability to kind of give you that extra boost to be the hero is a nice addition to what we can do.
Thank you.
On the same side, there's the skill drop, which I don't know that we've actually got any of those.
I don't think I've seen one of those.
No, I don't think there's been a skill drop.
Well, now that we've mentioned it, that's all we're gonna see.
It's available if somebody would want to do that.
Don't you do it.
We've got the glitch, which we've used a couple times. That's for a mechanical thing going wrong. We've done that. I think that's been done pretty well. Encounter. So what the encounter is I have a random chart that I created. depending on environment, and some of this stuff ties into past characters or backgrounds and things like that. Some of it is just monsters. Some of it is there's a percentage chance that nothing happens at all, but it's a total random chart that I put together. And basically, when you force an encounter, is we go to that chart and we roll the chart and see what happens. That basically interjects itself into the current situation. I'll tell you, as a DM, this is not easy to do. It's hard enough to plan what's going to happen or about what's going to happen and keep it fluid enough for your guys, but it's even harder to keep it fluid for extra stuff. So keep that in mind. You know, when you're doing your encounter stuff, don't be discouraged by it, but give me a little leeway when it comes to actually implementing it, because I do have to keep things kind of making sense and moving.
Mm-hmm. That also, I also want to touch on. A lot of times you'll see you guys redeem something, and it takes us a while to work it in. You know, just be patient with us, because you might redeem a one-liner for somebody who's not in the scene. You know, and it just might take a while for. I think I redeemed one of Good Devil's one-liners an episode later, because I did not have an opportunity to. So
it's better
always
to wait
keep that in mind.
and save it for a good opportunity than just do it for the sake of doing it.
Exactly, and that's another thing. If you give me a one-liner, I'm never going to just say it to get it done and over with. I want it to be perfect. So I'm going to find a way to put it in there. So just be patient with us.
I'm going to say it and get it over with.
Bruce Gaskin just redeemed 2 encounters, one with Wally and one with Gandalf. So I don't think he was paying attention to you at all, Matt.
I mean, when has he ever? Part of Rungus's charm is that he sort of exists in this otherworldly space that's sort of in between the fourth wall and the game world.
Rungus lives in Rungus world.
And honestly, we're all better off for it.
I couldn't live in that world. He's a very brave person.
So that kind of ties in with items or objects, as we made it. So objects is something else again that you can basically manifest something to be there in some fashion. But I do have to try to explain it and work it into the story, and I can't force it, because especially when we do like Driscoll's magic items, everybody's well aware of Dr. Isgill's wondrous item list, and that some things are good, some things are bad, some things are very mixed, some things are very situational. But if I do it in a way that's so obvious, then it kind of takes the is this one of his items thing or not away. And then somebody could just be like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just shove it in my backpack and not touch it ever again. Which sometimes can work, but not all the time. And then the item will sit in the backpack for a week before we actually get a chance to do anything with it. So, so we did objects. Then we get into some of the fun things where it's just, being silly, which we love to do on the stream.
No, I hate it.
Everybody else but Ryan loves to do it on the stream.
I hate silliness.
I mean, did we add have we been adding the humor tag?
We haven't actually. We probably should.
Mm-hmm.
Or improv or something.
Something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really becomes more like that than anything. But we've got one-liners where you can get them to say one specific line that you want them to work into whatever that is they're getting ready to do. We have the suggestive, which is adding, if you know what I mean, to the end of a couple sentences. And then we added the sing option, which means they have to sing a couple lines or at least rhyme what they're going to say.
The worst singer of this entire bunch has gotten that twice. Everyone else has gotten it 0. So you tell me, what do the people want?
They want Armand to sing.
Mm-hmm. I think last time it was.
They want to hear your inner Rungus.
My inner Rungus, yeah. I think not Rungus last episode, but the episode before we
Chris
did. I had the Redemption 4, it was the Sing and Suggestive back to back. We combined them.
Yeah, and like Ryan was saying, Chris can actually sing.
Sing
very well. He does
You
it on
can-
his own stream.
on his
Bruce
own
Gaskin.
Saturdays at 9. Twitch.tv/Bruce Gaskin.
Oh, I bet he's
and-
loving that right now.
And then the other thing we have is the guest player spot, which we kind of forced ahead of time with the Dr. Isgill thing, just for timing wise. But it still exists, and we can still kind of do that and make that happen for people that want to do that. And that's pretty much it for the store items as it stands right now. However, we are always open to suggestion.
No suggestions.
Kim, you can also rhyme. You can also choose to say your next 3 lines in like sonnet form, I guess.
Mhm.
Maybe a
Limerick.
naughty limerick.
Haiku.
Yeah.
You don't need to say naughty limerick. They're naughty as the nature of
Yeah,
the
that's
work.
You're right. That is
The old Irish haiku.
All right. Well, we've only got a couple more episodes that I have prepped here to get through. Let's see. Episode 5, Gang Goes to Merktown. This is where the lore of the Red Hot Poker begins. The trip into town, we start talking about the Red Hot Poker. We finally start to get into the psyche of Hype a little bit. Is there something going on there? Does he feel like a little inadequacy because he doesn't get to do the wrestling anymore? Is he happy with where he is? These are all questions that we want to know the answers to.
Nobody calls it the wrestling.
The wrestling.
The wrestling.
Let's see. We get to the city, and everybody kind of goes off their own thing. So the 3 cool people in the group decide to go to the bar. That would be Hype, Katarina, and Dwyer, and they proceed to get wasted.
That was
Wasted.
fun.
That was
fun.
probably one of my most fun times role playing during the stream because I mean, first off, I had already had a few drinks to begin with, so it was easy. But anytime you get to play drunk, that's fun.
It's hard though, because
Yeah.
it's like playing drunk is so overdone. Which is why I sort of gravitated towards almost blackout drunk, like brownout drunk, for sure brownout drunk. Like Hype does not remember all of that.
Is Brownout drunk when you shit your pants? You're so drunk.
Oh, here we go with the mud butt.
No, in normal, among normal people, if blacking out is you don't remember anything, browning out is where you just don't remember patches of the evening. You remember maybe the overall structure of the evening, but there are pieces missing, just like a brownout. It's not
It's like Friday. Any Friday.
any Friday. Shout out to the old Friday Zoom crew.
Oh yeah, Friday Zoom crew. If you're in the chat, let's hear it.
F's in the chat for Friday Zooms. That was also
Yeah.
courtesy Katarina. Thanks, Katarina's employer, for paying for Zoom, so we didn't have to restart that shit every hour.
Thanks, because anytime she wasn't there, it was a pain in the ass.
It was a pain in the ass, and then I got in trouble when I
Wasn't
got
that
left
hard.
in
You just
charge.
re-signed
So I started kicking people out at 4 a.m.
Let's see.
That didn't last that long.
No.
No, that killed it pretty much.
I believe at this point, while Hype, Katarina, and Dwyer are getting wasty face, Rungus goes on a classic RPG side quest. And Billy, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is when you go to meet your informant, not the cartographer. The guy who's sending you to the cartographer.
Yeah, the informant came first, then the cartographer.
Perfect. So during Rungus's side quest,
That was a
let's
nice
see.
sound.
He leaves a shitty 10% tip to the waitress at the bar, proving he's not as good as he would have you believe. No. Tip your waiters and waitresses 20, 25%.
DBs are terrible tippers.
He's foreign.
That's not an excuse. It's
In
not an
Blue Sea
excuse.
culture, they don't tip their servers; they eat them. I think.
If you're in this dimension, you tip like you live in this dimension.
Oh, next you're gonna tell us we need to speak coalition.
No, actually, I rather enjoy the dulcet tones of whatever it is Blue Sea speak is. I think that's why I got so into the Rungus speak watch as I was going through this.
I'm telling you, it's like it's a thing of wonder and beauty. Who thought that would end up being?
Don't call me a nerd, Bruce. Okay, tip your waitress more than 10%.
He did redeem an object fish, so I think that Hype should give Rungus some of his dead fish. He'll still eat them. They're just as good to him.
Do I have any fish?
Right, and you know how many times did
You have
Dwyer
4 dead ones in
mention
your
something?
backpack.
Yeah. How many times did Dwyer make a mention of some horrid smell, and it was probably just these rotting fish in this bag?
So the fish actually was a very missed opportunity, and we explored this in the other campaign that I run on Tuesday nights. But they were actually a carnival working trick. They were something called a bluff fish. So the idea was that people would go to these carnivals, win the bluff fish, and when somebody lies within a distance, like a close distance of the bluff fish, they would actually make a noise that sounded like they were saying bluff while they were bubbling. And people would realize that it was, after time, that it was something that was basically indicating that they were lying. And then people at home would get aggravated with each other because they couldn't lie anymore. So they'd bring the fish back to the carnival in an effort to get the psychic connection broken, because it's the only way to do it. So the healer there would then charge them up the butt to remove the curse, and then they get the fish back to put back in the prize pool. So really, they just end up making lots of money for nothing.
See, and that's one of the things I love about tabletop role playing in general, is the fact that that was a very real possibility for us and our group to figure out, and we just didn't do it. Missed opportunities are a huge thing in tabletop role playing. Also, things that you don't expect. Like, I'm sure just like we missed that opportunity, there were things that we did in this stream that Nat did not prepare for. It wasn't 100% like, oh, they're doing that? Okay, let's roll with it. That's just tabletop role playing,
I'm 100% trying at all times to get into territory Nat hasn't planned for. It doesn't always work. But I get, at least in the first couple episodes, I got clues because I do play in the other campaign too. So I'd be like, I'd be intentionally trying to avoid trotting down the same path.
And that's good because we have someone who's playing it twice. So you can kind of steer us in a different direction.
I get it.
Not
Unfair advantage. Not anymore. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. That party is so darn dysfunctional. Thanks in no small part to Dr. Iskill. Just kidding. Just kidding, Dr. Iskill. That I think we're still on the racetrack. Metaphorically.
Metaphorically. Oh, okay. Let's
you guys
see.
They're in a different part of the world now.
We've got our own weird DB to deal with in that party.
Right. Still no Rungus speak, and
I
at
think
this
Toby
point,
was actually at the group.
I'm kind of upset I even started the bit, but here we are. You can definitely hear Rungus's voice getting a little bit lower, but it's not quite Rungus yet at episode 5. Let's see. During Rungus's side quest, the mark that he is trying to get ends up with no pants on and a PP, and I'm at a loss for whether that was a Riff's joke about physical prowess, or if he... Oh, wait, no, that's right. He actually did have a small little tiny guy. And then we all kind of met back up together. 3 noticeably drunk people, a tight-lipped soldier who's trying to find a cartographer.
He's a cop.
And some freak of nature who, instead of doing anything fun, decided to go work the first moment he got into town.
What a monster.
What a monster for other reasons too.
It seemed like Rungus had learned about quests that day and was like, I'm going to try them out.
We could do these. At that point, the whole group decides that they want to start moving towards the Battle Dome to watch some Red Hot Poker action. And that was the end of that episode.
What episode was that?
Episode 5. The gang bonds on the road trip. Let's see. Episode 6, the gang goes to the Battle Dome. So we actually go to the Battle Dome here. We watch a couple fights. Red Hot Poker is one of those fights. Everybody bets on the Red Hot Poker except for Rungus, who bets on his opponent. I think that Rungus is still a little sore about that. Every single time he sees the Red Hot Poker, he's asking him for 200 credits. I don't think that Rungus understands how betting works. Let's see. After Red Hot Poker's match, he comes up into the stands. He notices Hype. They have history together, and then he proceeds to give him the business. And I'm talking like real, like some underhanded comments. He was being real dirty to you, dude. He really was. You remember any of the things he was saying? Like, oh yeah, man, it's what I got to do, being at the top of my game.
No,
Not that you would remember what that's like. He was getting some jabs in. Is all I'm saying.
What was he? I didn't really notice because he's it's a bit of a blowhard and a total jabroni. So
that's funny because when you were talking to him, you were doing everything in your power to be as political as humanly possible because you wanted to get back into the ring. I wrote down here. What was it?
Just because you're trying to be political doesn't mean you're paying attention to what they're saying.
Yeah, I wrote Hype. Hype has a bit of a midlife crisis and tries to decide whether he has made the right choices in life. At least that's what I got out of the whole situation.
You think you're so smart.
Let's see what else happens. Red Hot Poker gives us the key to his penthouse suite,
which was very nice of him.
It was nice. There was another match too. It was a girl match, 2 girls. And we had a redemption of a frying pan. We got to watch. I think Ryan coined it as the Taiwanese frying pan death match. He said, "Oh yeah, one of these girls is probably gonna die."
They don't call them death matches for no reason. Haven't you ever been to Japan?
So we watched that match. Everybody kind of, we're riding high. 3 out of 4 of us have won some money. So we go back to the penthouse. Now here's where things get a little interesting. Hype puts on what I'm going to call lingerie. I guess he just wanted to get comfortable.
The inspiration from that was totally, was it Councilman Jam from Parks and Rec?
From Parks and Rec. He's got like that silk kimono.
The kimono, yeah. It's definitely like what I was thinking.
Yeah, you put on some lingerie. You also find a broken magic wand with a note from Red Hot Poker giving it to you as a gift for all of the times we shared.
I believe that was another wasted opportunity with the Dr. Iskall item, wasn't it?
I believe so. I believe so as well. I believe that there could have been something to that we didn't touch on, but we did make a joke about it being a broken phallus. And
yeah, there was definitely a dick joke in there somewhere.
It's like, ooh, man, you think the Red Hot Poker knows about your problems down there?
That one comes back later.
Ooh. You do sound like you're in a box.
Yeah, what was
No,
that?
it sounds like he's in the pool, but we all know the pool is closed because of COVID times.
No. The ool.
Back later.
You can't pee in my ool. Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of role playing in this episode. There wasn't a whole lot of actual events. We spent a lot of time in that penthouse suite.
It was like a weird party.
It really was a weird party. Both Rungus and Billy kind of noped out of it early by going to sleep. I think at one point we were all woken up by some creature.
The octopus thing.
Now, here's the thing. I have written down here what the actual creature's name is. I have his actual, like, name, what Red Hot Poker calls him, and what his species name is. Anyone besides Nat? Does anyone besides Nat know the answers to that?
Isn't it like Michael or something?
It is a normal sounding name. It's not like a Dogberg name. That's what we called.
I could scroll back through my text messages with Kim. I was telling her how I would have to kill her if she tried to steal the dog.
Mm-hmm.
How far long ago was it? What episode? What was the episode air date?
Again, I didn't write it down on this one. Is it Keith? Atlas says no. It is not Keith, but I like that. You should talk to Nat sometimes. That would have been a good name for him. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave this open as far as what his name is. He was a whisker coyote. I didn't remember that until I watched it. But he's a little dog.
Crap.
Yeah, and this is when I'm watching this episode last night, and this is when I'm like, Billy, I should have called it right there. Look at him trying to kill this thing. So we had to stop Billy from trying to shoot this Dogberg. We had to stop Rungus from trying to eat it. It was just a whole thing. And you were really scrolling back there.
I gave up.
So, and if anyone, I'm gonna not say the name of Dogberg, the real name of Dogberg. First person who puts it in chat is gonna get some fate chips. Also, we had another redemption. I don't know how we let this one slide though. We had a woman as the object redemption. Now, it's 2020. I don't think women are objects, but hey, this is just a role-playing tabletop game, okay?
Even when you're role playing, unless you've established a safe word, you cannot treat a woman like an object.
Now, I will say, I feel like the roleplay for this went well. It was a random lady of the evening who was magically transported to our continental buffet, our breakfast buffet. If memory serves, we had a nice spread of stuff on the table, and poof, she just shows up with the eggs and bacon. Like, dude, I'm trying to enjoy my brekkie. What are you doing to me?
Bonus points if you know how the lady of the evening preferred her eggs. Oh, no pit beef jokes. Good devil.
And this is why I love having you all here for the streams, because it's not the same. It's not the same without you.
Thanks.
And I
I
tried to
feel
do
the
that
same way.
as calmly as peacefully as possible, given the circumstances of it was being asked.
Because there's no way to tell what someone's going to redeem. I think that we did a great job with what happened there. Yeah, it could have gone bad. It could have gotten really hairy.
We did have to implement a no objectifying women rule after that, though. You cannot use redeem object to redeem a woman.
We may have lost a viewer because of that.
Yeah, we might have. Actually, is this the last appearance?
Extreme conference. So we're like, all right, we need to think about some of these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely. I think that was one of the after streams that we all kind of hung out a little longer than we usually do.
I know, we
discuss
usually
what
hang
happened.
out for a while. Well, at least you and me.
Sometimes, yeah.
All the
But
rest
then
of them bitches go to
sometimes
bed
we're
early.
out like that. You know, like it all depends on what I got to do tomorrow morning.
Oh my god, Nat sounds like a Charlie Brown adult. Oh my god, he does.
And it's great because you can imagine whatever it is you want him to be saying, you know?
That's actually
Great.
normally when he's DMing, I hear his Charlie Brown teacher voice. It's like, wah, wah, wah. Like, is that a D20?
All right. For y'all's benefit, let's go ahead and keep things moving.
10 pay chips.
So we have episode 7. The gang goes shopping. Well, at least they attempt to. So let's see. Oh, wait. I glossed over something in the previous episode. How could I do this? One of the items that was redeemed. Bonehead. And a box of Tic Tacs. They came with a very powerful curse.
Fuck this item.
We know this as the Gary curse. Yeah. So it was a very Gary-rific couple of streams there for Rungus. And oh my god, maybe that was what did it, because in episode 7, first thing I have written down, oh my god, we finally go full Rungus speak. There we are. From episode 7 on, we finally have Rungus sounding like a Blue Sea Water Warlock and not some dude in his 30s streaming from his basement.
Hey.
I think I just attacked a lot of us here.
I'm in my 40s, so.
Yeah. And I'm in my second living room, so.
Oh, that's in your living room. And you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was just the room where the cats shit. So now it's the room where the cats shit and I stream.
I mean, how can you tell the difference?
It's like a conflict of interest.
It really is. So let's see. What did I write here about the first episode? So Gary, and Katarina head to the Mystic Quarter. Dogberg follows along, much to the chagrin of the gang. Gary meets his cartographer, who sends him on his way towards his character arc. We actually find out a little bit about Gary's backstory here. And after finding out they really don't have a lot of money, the Gary gang end up moving out of the Mystic Quarter because shit's just expensive.
Gary gang.
So what was the name of Dogberg? Oh, let me scroll up here real quick just to make sure no one guessed the correct name. And the name of Dogberg, the Whisker Coyote, was Nat. Do you know?
Oscar?
I can barely hear you, but I imagine you said Oscar. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oscar.
Did you spill water on your laptop?
I'm gonna get some ice on that.
From the hotel,
Yeah, this is what happens when you stream from the hotel. Yes.
Oh, all the other guests must be using the Wi-Fi. Are you
It is
still the
crank.
only one?
It's crank o'clock. So
Tons of traffic at Pornhub right now.
it's free week. I mean, I've been told. So now, if we haven't been shadow banned by Twitch for that, let's see. Meets with the cartographer. So after that, the gang meets back up with Red Hot Poker. They all kind of find each other after they all went and did their own things. And Red Hot Poker informs them, "Hey, I just took the liberty of signing y'all up for this race." So he kind of took, the choice out of it for us.
Yeah, it's a little suspect.
Yeah. It definitely made me think that there was an ulterior motive to the Red Hot Poker guy. And then I just feel like he's a guy who likes a good laugh at others' expense. He's like a Dr. Iskill minus the magic items.
He's a jabroni.
Tell him that to his face in the ring. You won't. You're scared.
I will. Taiwanese death frying pan match.
So after he informs them that they'll be entering in today's big race, he tells them, "Hey, it should be over quick." That was the biggest lie of the century.
It's a race. How long can it take?
Yeah, how long can it take? Just till the end. Boo proof. Saw him vent, yeah. Okay, guys, can we keep the Among Us chat to a minimum?
There's a Rungus among us.
There's a Rungus. Oh my goodness. I want to play Among Us with Rungus.
I want to play Among Us with Rungus.
I want to play Among Us with Rungus.
Hey guys, let's play Among Us.
Let's do it.
All hair Chombo.
Well, so
The people's champ.
we're coming up to the last episode that I did a synopsis for because, well, it was 1 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
And you ran out of Tolkien.
Yeah, yes. And this was one of the more interesting episodes, I think. So we thought we had a scheduling conflict this week. We actually didn't. If memory serves, we thought that Chris was going to be out. He wasn't. Then it was like, no, Adam's not going to be here. And then it was like, no, that's next week. So we made a plan to have Driscoll come in as a guest player for his Dr. Iskill and all these wonderful items.
That character together very quickly.
Yeah, I remember. I think you sent me a message like a day or two before the stream saying, "Hey, we're going to be doing it this way," and I was like, "Okay, sure." Oh, well, it was a lot of fun. It's always good to get a different face in, someone different, just to give you a different perspective of everything that's going on. Basically what had happened was one of his items got loose and was wreaking havoc everywhere. If memory serves, because this was an episode that I kind of scrubbed through, they were underpants, weren't they? They were magical time-controlling underpants. And what a dick move to not let the time stop for just a little bit longer so we could like tie some shoelaces or slice some Achilles or something. That race could have been so much easier.
If we want to talk about missed opportunities, I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that does it for my airing of grievances. I wanted a segment called Airing of Grievances, and I think that I aired every single one of my grievances as we were going through here.
I aired my one, which was Nat didn't let me roll my good rolls on the rope ladder game.
Yeah, I think that's when we decided that you had a gambling problem, because you did that rope game, I think, 3 or 4 times.
I have a losing problem. It's not a gambling problem, it's a losing problem. Especially when it's something I know, according to the specifics of my occupational character class, I should be good at. In the remastered American dub, Hype will succeed the first time with ease.
Well, Hype, let's get a success here. What was the creature that we fought in that episode?
Wait, which episode?
The Dr. Iskill episode. Episode 8.
The one where we met the fairies.
Yeah, we were helping the fairies. What did we fight? I don't remember. Was it,
Good Devil says the blueberry monster. I wish it would have been the blueberry monster. Hey, there is a color involved.
the Red Hot Poker? No. I don't remember, man. I was so Tolkien'd.
I remember he was terrorizing the fairies.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. It was a black fairy.
Terrorizing the fairies? I'm going to guess Mike Pence.
Good one. Good one. You know what? And Good Devil, I'm going to give you some bonus fate chips there because you got the color.
We fought a Blue Sea Water Warlock.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, that's next up.
And I do have to lay claim to the fact that Dr. Iskill did not give more time to allow you guys to sabotage the race. That was my choice.
No, Atlas. It
Oh,
wasn't
that was
the
your-
smoke
oh,
monster.
yeah.
That's Lost. I think you're thinking
That
of
was-
Lost.
Nat's pretty much saying we're blaming Dr. Iskill for not letting us use this super overpowered magical item, when in reality the DM was like, no, fuck that. I spent so much time setting up this race. You were racing legitimately.
Mostly.
We'll show him.
And that pretty much wraps up the first 8 episodes. I'm really glad that we did this because
Did what?
this recap here, because honestly,
You
up
did this
until
recap here.
the race is all kind of a blur to me. I have very vivid memories of everything that's happened since the race because we've escalated so much. It's like, oh, we won the race. Oh, we murdered these people in the stands or in the stables. Oh, we're running from the cops. Like all of these things are super, super like memorable, and it keeps escalating. But it just pushed out all of the memory that I had of everything we did the first 8 weeks.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm does remember. And honestly, this gives me a new perspective on our group's dynamic now, a little bit.
So we got a little bit of talk about the behind the scenes on Hype, and we talked a little bit about some of Billy's past and things he's dealing with. We haven't touched on Dwyer at all.
No, and that's the thing. Yeah, like we had in a recent episode we had a Rungus and Dwyer scene where I kind of opened up to Rungus and spilled a little bit of my backstory, but we really haven't touched on that hardly at all. So I mean, there's so much more to come. I mean, we are 17 episodes deep right now, and I don't even think we've scratched the surface, to be quite honest with you. But before we move on to the last little bits that we're going to be doing here, I want to tell you guys, I really enjoyed going back, watching the old episodes, coming up with some witty things to say about things that happened. I would love to do this again.
When are you going to say those things?
I'm saving those for the end.
Oh.
So if you guys enjoyed this stream, let us know, please, because the next time we have an issue where, someone can't be there or whatnot, this is a great way to just kind of wrap everything up a little bit and bring us back to where we are,
I'm still waiting for the debut of Armand and Ryan in the morning.
Armand and Ryan in the morning.
I've got a sweater.
So that really wraps that up. I would love to in a couple of weeks, even if it's not streamed, it's recorded and put on YouTube or something like that, do the back half of the episodes, go from 9 to 16, 17. Maybe spend a little bit more time on it. I'd love to, but you guys need to want it.
They need to want it. Oh, I mean, yeah, you need to want it. I mean, we're totally going to do it either way.
We'll just watch it.
We want you to want us.
So now I kind of want to kick it over to some things that we are working on, things that we have in the works.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you are a member of our Discord, let's go ahead and just drop that Discord link here. You know already that there are a couple other one-shot-esque type games that that Nat is trying to get up and running here. So I just want to talk about those. We just want to, touch base with you all and see if we can't get this kind of rolling,
Are you talking about Stream Fighter?
Ryan, did you say Stream Fighter?
I said Street Fighter.
Oh, that's funny because that sounds a lot like Street Fighter.
No, totally different intellectual property, not in any way, shape, or form related to any intellectual property owned by Capcom and or its subsidiaries.
Well, that's wonderful news. We won't get sued.
Well...
We'll use the Hadouken.
Hadouken.
The Dragon Fruit Kick.
Yogurt Sling.
We have
But yeah,
Chung-Li.
Ryan, you've been doing a lot of work on that. Why don't you go ahead? I'll send it over to you. You can kind of give us a little heads up about what you've been doing with this.
Yeah. So sort of in my spare time, when I haven't been working on the Fate Chip graphic thing, which should hopefully be ready in a few weeks, we've also been messing around with some things related to the Stream Fighter role-playing tournament Nat's trying to put together, including doing some slightly more involved sort of dynamic overlay work, which I have a few concepts, I'll call them concept art screenshots to show you. The first of which is just sort of like, so the normal way this goes is it's a hex grid with some miniatures and you kind of move them around, but Nat and I actually kind of sat down at my house one day and played through a couple rounds just to sort of get a feel for the game, and I realized, there's some sort of easy stuff we can do to make a streaming version of it sort of feel a little bit more Stream Fighter-esque. So
make it look like the game as much as it did.
Yeah, precisely. Make it look like the game a little bit more. So here's the first screenshot, and I'll just cut to it and cut back because I didn't set the audio up right. My fault. Here it is. So as you can see, the excuse me, a little smoky in here. Oh, sorry. Oh, God.
You might want to get that checked out.
Need a cannonball.
Pop's got the black lung.
I'm cannonballing it. I've been working on some things to make the combat look a little bit more like an actual Street Fighter game. And sort of another view of that is the ubiquitous character select. And bonus Easter egg here. You get to see the hero figurine of the character Bronzorn, the character you will not be seeing in Armand's Wednesday night campaign because Armand didn't want to have to balance a Blood Hunter, which no fault there. It's an interesting class, but maybe one day you'll see Bronzorn on some sort of stream on this channel. All right, now you can talk.
Okay.
But there's Hype and Bronzorn, or there was.
I think the goal was to transform this to feel less like a tabletop RPG and more like, an actual beat 'em up video game kind of feel, right?
It has, the RPG that exists gives you the ability to have a story mode to it. But because we're doing it as a one shot, I really want to focus on what everybody knows and loves about Street Fighter. So it's just going to be the tournament style thing. It really hits off and people really like it, and we can always go and do
A full-on RPG. Mm-hmm.
Well, and because of the synergy of the Street Fighter RPG and the Wildcard Hype Patterson intellectual property, I can announce that Hype will be participating through some means, perhaps a previous Rift experience, in the Stream Fighter tournament. I also, by the way, just as an aside, totally love repurposing characters I've used in other campaigns for second and third campaigns because it's less rolling to do and less character traits to remember.
Can you have an attack that's literally called the Red Hot Poker, where you just you poke somebody?
I will have to talk to the DM. He's a bit rigid. Not one for really creativity or bending the rules, but maybe I can get him liquored up.
I think that's actually the easy part.
Yeah, fair. The DM, by the way, makes the world's deadliest margaritas.
I love a margarita.
You
All
only
right.
need one, because if you have two, you'll throw up.
Oh, and throwing up on a margarita is not fun.
No, the salt gets in your nose.
All right, so we talked about Stream Fighter. Is there anything else that you guys want to say about Stream Fighter before we move on?
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It is.
Well, I think to highlight a couple things is one that I think Ryan was able to do what he was able to do because the system is very easy to do, and we're going to be pretty flexible with the gameplay on this. So when we're trying to recruit people to play, you don't have to have a elaborate setup or whatever. Like it can be something where we schedule a day where everybody just kind of comes to one spot, and if you're in town,
Did he just say I was able to do what I was able to do because Street Fighter makes it easy? Like, how dare you? How dare you?
The game system is simple, so it allows you to easily.
That's like me saying, "Oh, Nat was able to put that wonderful carnival stream together so fast because he bought a bunch of stuff."
More.
I mean, it's true, but you also put a lot of work in, and that shouldn't be diminished.
Yeah. Okay. No, you did put a lot of work in this.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're not under the sea.
But yeah, my point is that this is easy to do, it's easy to learn, so you don't have to worry about like a learning curve.
But that's good. The ease of it's going to make things a lot more fun, I think. Especially since this is like going to be a tournament style setting, so we're going to have a lot of people doing this, right?
We're looking for 8 players total.
8 players total.
And we're looking for custom characters. Somebody come up with their own ideas. So
we'll be making my character sometime this weekend here. I cannot promise you a previous character of mine will show up because I don't think that he'd do too well in a Street Fighter setting.
Yeah, he's not doing too well in a Rift setting either.
No. He's getting all kinds of his stuff shot at and killed and ripped apart into thousands of pieces and then showcased behind Billy right now. I keep calling Adam Billy because I don't want to disassociate you from your character.
Yeah, I want to think of you as a cop too, Adam.
Your resident narc.
That's why I have to turn the screen off.
At least he has a never-ending sandwich.
Yeah.
Thank you, Atlas. I do. All right. Well, please join. I'll throw it in chat again. Join the Discord where you can actually go in and message us directly to kind of figure out what you need to do to make your character if you want. Yeah, we really want to do this. We really think it's going to be fun. So definitely join.
It's going to be a total party.
Right.
I'm putting party mode on.
Let's talk about another project we have in the works. This one I think's a little further out, but I think it's just as entertaining from a tech standpoint. I'm just gonna blow through it real quick, Nat, because I don't think that your audio is gonna come through too well to the chat there.
How's it doing right now?
Oh, that's perfect.
Hey.
There we go.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw it over to Nat. And he's going to tell you about the other project that he has been working on, the Alien stream.
So anybody who's seen the movies, basically they came out with there was an older Aliens RPG, which I was going to use originally, but as I was researching it, I discovered that there's a new one getting ready to come out. It has been released. My copy actually is not here yet, but that's okay because we got to do Stream Fighter first, which will probably hit like the end of November-ish. And then by the beginning of November, I'll have my book to actually start putting the plan together for the stream itself. But we'll probably do Aliens, I want to say around the beginning of the year, just to give a timetable on some of these things. But the intention is there's 2 modes of gameplay. There's campaign mode like we're doing with our Rifts, where you play characters and you have a whole storyline that can go along for months and months. And then there's also a cinematic mode, which is basically you just try to survive an encounter. And that's the impression that I get out of it anyway. So we're going to play the cinematic mode. Just to get a feel for it and kind of check it out. This one will basically be laid out so that kind of Brady Bunch style on the screen. I'm thinking 12 players. I won't be on the screen for this one. The center of the screen will be the miniatures and the maps that we'll be using. Hopefully, I mean, we're going for some visually cool aspects here to make this very cinematic.
And
But as
we might want to talk about internet connection if you're going to have 12 people.
yeah, we'll
Let's
deal
make
with
a
that
note
when
of
we
it
get there.
for later. I'll forget if I don't say
Yeah.
something now.
Yeah.
Well, I
we'll
mean, that's a 2021 problem.
yeah.
Oh yeah, COVID will be gone by then.
So yeah, we'll have that as a setup, and it'll be, we're gonna play it very horror-esque like. So, you could be your character could be in the middle of doing something and walk into the wrong room, and mid-sentence you just cut out and static will take over your screen. So, that's kind of how we're gonna roll it. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I've got most of the miniatures in now, so I'm just in the process of painting. And then once everybody kind of creates their characters, I'll get miniatures made up for them, and we'll be using those. So
There was a
it'll be
crossover. There's crossover between Alien and the Predator franchise, correct?
Yep, which I do have some crossover stuff as well.
In that case, I'm rolling Jesse the Body Ventura.
All right.
Ooh,
He's
Armand,
dead,
you should roll
but-
Carl Weathers.
Just recreate.
You just have no arms.
You son of a bitch.
But yeah, so it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think it'll
and
be,
and you can see on our Discord, there are actual channels in there for each of the game modes that we are working on, so you can specifically go in there and say, hey, I'm interested in this. It's not adding y'all to my Discord.
Maybe we don't do tech things live.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
might need to update the invite.
It is a possibility.
We'll sort that out. Maybe the
It is
invite
happening.
link expired.
Yeah, it,
Yeah.
it happens from time to time. Just, like we'll be talking about this stuff every week as it's coming along. So that's the kind of one-off stuff that we're doing. We are trying also to set up another full weekly stream. This is going to be set in the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I am not using any world material from their books. I will be using their, classes and, items and whatnot, throwing a little bit of spin or flavor text onto things to kind of paint them into the world that I am creating. And that's another thing I want to talk about with this 5th edition stream. I really want to harp on the interconnectivity between us, the players, DM, and you, the audience. Because I'm creating the world, it gives us a lot of freedoms to, come up with things on the fly. Freedoms that you don't really have when you're running a campaign out of a book, because those worlds have already been built. There's established lore, things do and don't work. In this world, I am painting, I don't want to say a broad picture. There will be some specifics that I get into when I'm building this world, but I'm going to leave a lot of gaps open. I'm leaving a lot of gaps open for the players to decide on what lore is going to be. I'm leaving a lot of stuff open for you, the audience, to add into. I want the world to start off feeling not complete, but as we keep playing it, you all help flesh out the world. Maybe one of the players asks a question about, I don't know anything about this place. What's the history for this place? I don't know. You roll a lore check and you tell me. You roll poorly, guess what? You guys are going to tell me. I want you to help me build the world. It's a lot of work. I'm lazy, like hype.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I wouldn't call it homebrew. I would call it like homebrew light.
So worse than homebrew?
I'm not tweaking a few rules here and there, but for the most part, your core Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition system is going to be in place.
Even the parts of it that suck, like crafting.
I hate crafting.
Crafting in
Extra
5th edition
crafting.
is garbage. 5 gold a day.
But yeah, like we've been trying to do with the Rift stream, I want to do that to the nth degree on the Dungeons and Dragons stream. I want to give you guys more, not control over what's happening. I want you guys to have control of the world that we live in.
Not control over what's happening. I want you to do more of the work.
Hey, shh. Don't tell them that. They won't do it.
Do my work for me.
But I think that's pretty. Honestly, when I had the idea, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I personally would love to watch a role playing stream where they looked at me, the community member watching, and said, "Hey, you, tell me the story of this," and now it's part of the world.
I feel like if you want to take this to the next level, what you have to do is start a GoFundMe to create the world, and then just keep the money.
Oh, and hey, we've got a hopefully a working Discord link in the chat there. Yep, because a wild good devil has appeared in our Discord. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, good devil. We're glad you're here. Please don't give me an XP drop again.
And we'll be periodically updating, like with things like different parts of the games as we develop them. Pictures.
Currently, I'll be 100% honest with you. If I had to give you a timeline for the 5th edition, I would say, I mean, honestly, if I had a few more people that wanted to play, I could start in 2 weeks. I could get everything together in the next 2 weeks. That being said, I don't have everybody, so I haven't been busting my ass to get it all done and ready, because what's the point? I need more characters. I need more backstory. Ideally, I'd love to get it started before Stream Fighter, but
there's been a redemption in the chat for an XP drop on Nat.
But realistically, if I had to pin down a time frame for the 5th edition stream, I would say probably sometime between the start of Stream Fighter and Aliens.
Don't worry, folks. He's not this long-winded when he DMs, only when he's making excuses for why he hasn't started DMing yet.
No, I am extremely long-winded. Get ready for it. Also, I think we had one more thing we wanted to tease here. So the 29th, that's 2 weeks from now, is, I guess, I don't want to call it a Halloween stream because I don't know what Nat has planned.
We're gonna call it the Hollow Stream.
I don't want to put a special event in his to-do list because that's just a dickish move of me.
Let's give him some more work.
No, it's a special event, but it's a special meta event.
It's gonna be very meta. We are all going to be
meta hats.
Well, oh yeah. Okay, so basically, what you're gonna want to do is tune in. Well, definitely tune in next week too, because you should be watching every week.
We should be doing this the whole time.
Yeah, but in 2 weeks' time, show up, because all the men might have something very interesting going on. I don't know if I can say anymore, but maybe you'd understand. Does that take me from Dungeon Daddy to Just Daddy? Yes. You have been degraded, downgraded.
Degraded. You suck.
You know what's so funny is we were planning on trying to roll Ryan's D&D character on stream, because we were like, dude, how are we gonna go for 2 hours just recapping the episodes? We didn't even recap them all.
Can I reveal my character's name, the only part of the character besides the race I'm predetermined and class.
Sure.
Should I reveal the class or should I keep the class hidden?
I'll leave that up to you. That's your call. Your character.
I think I have to reveal it. Shambal Jarzafor, the sneaky
Oh.
dragonborn.
It's a powerful, powerful name.
Powerful name and a powerful player character class
Mm-hmm.
to be a
But-
dragonborn rogue.
But if you have had your whistle wetted on any of the things we talked about as far as what we have planned,
I am
Join the
very
di-
moist.
join the Discord
Hmm.
and join the channels. Tell us you want to play. The sooner we get people that want to play, the sooner we can do these things. It's simple, you know?
Come be
Tell
moist
your-
with us.
Tell your friends,
be
tell
stupid.
your sisters, your brothers, tell your mothers, tell your, second uncle, twice removed.
You don't want him playing.
No, I think he's in prison. He's prison Poppy. That I keep seeing them talk about in chat right now.
Is he moist?
He's moist for making all that toilet wine.
The toilet wine makes me moist. That's like the grossest sentence in the history of sentences. Is toilet wine makes me moist.
You gotta dip your finger in the Kool-Aid packet for lipstick.
Does that work?
Apparently.
He's definitely a cop. He knows all the prison secrets.
Prison Poppy, clap them cheeks. Basically, I mean, we're passionate about doing this. We want to do more.
I'm passionately moist.
I want to passionately put more grenades down people's pants.
I'm passionately zapping people in the nuggets.
And just for a count, Nat, how many people do we have on board guaranteed for Stream Fighter so far?
Guaranteed, I'd say 2.
So we have 2.
You were hoping for a much larger number there.
I was at least hoping for 4.
There's people that have expressed interest, but like I would say, there's no guarantee. Like,
Okay. So
Well,
that
there's
means
just no guarantees in this life.
that means there
one
are
guy
6,
hit me up today though, so
Ooh.
that could be an easy third.
So that means that there are 6, possibly 5 more spots open for that. There are probably 12 spots open for the aliens thing currently right now. I know I keep telling Nat we should mix things up and not have the same people on every single thing, but he keeps coming up with ideas that I really want to be a part of. I want to be in the aliens one too.
Well, there's gonna be so many people, it'll be okay to mix it a little.
I could probably swing the aliens thing.
So look, you got 3 for aliens already. I'm speaking for Ryan, but
I already said I'm going to play Jesse the Body Ventura.
that's right.
What can I say? I have a niche, and it's playing characters who are also professional wrestlers.
Does Chris get to be Paul Reiser?
Was he in that?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
he was in.
Yeah.
Aliens.
He was in Aliens. Yeah, he was the
company
the
man.
the douchebag. Yeah,
Yeah,
company
the
man.
slime guy.
There can be a company man in here. That's part of a character class.
Ooh. And as far as the 5th edition stream goes, I currently have 3 guarantees. So that means I have 2 more spots open. Using that as a placeholder. So if I struggle to find one more, guess who I'm roping in? This way? Down? No, that way. There we go. That guy right there.
You know,
Figure out where I was pointing.
I didn't think Paul Reiser was in anything but mad about you.
Yeah, he was Burke. That was his name, Burke.
Yep.
No
Burke.
kidding.
Wasn't he also in the? No, I'm losing it. All right, that means people like you, Atlas K, 314, role play with us. Good Devil, you're already doing the 5th edition, but you should definitely sign up for Stream Fighter and for Aliens.
I don't think Atlas K likes to role play.
She should.
I
Be
mean,
fun.
yeah, she should. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you see us up here all the time.
I bet she won't do it.
She actually was there when I used to run my campaign a couple years ago for a couple of guys locally. Her husband being one of them. So
All right, well,
Don't
Atlas.
pressure her. She doesn't want to.
Nope.
No.
Pressure her.
come
I'm
on,
pressuring her right
stop.
now. Atlas, look at me. Look at me right here. Look at me. I'm looking at you. Okay. Now listen to me. Listen to me. You want to join all of the streams, all of them.
You know what? Now I understand why you got cast as the baby Jesus in that play. Sorry, I had a
just
bunch
don't
of.
have a cam to join. You know what, Atlas? That is the least concern. I mean, have you seen Rungus's setup?
It's hardly
looks-
a camera. It's like a pinhole camera. It's like he
So-
made it out of a shoebox.
So either we could figure something out. If you really wanted to give it a shot and have some fun, we could figure it out. It would be my phone. You know what's funny, Atlas? I actually have a mount for phones.
He's mounted
you-
many phones.
I have done that. I've also dominated a few people in our campaign.
Yeah, the
just-
technology we can work around. We've got people for that.
All right, you know what? Closing few moments here. Airing of grievances. Ryan, go. You get one grievance. Air it.
You did your. I don't have any written down. If I had to pick just one, I suppose it would be Dr. Iskel, for the love of Pete, man. Make a useful item.
Hey, that
Yeah.
sandwich is pretty good.
He has updated his item list.
That's good.
to
Now with
include
useful
other
shit.
things. No, some useful stuff now.
Is it from As Seen on TV stuff?
Yes.
Adam, airing of grievances. One grievance. Go.
I should have been able to feed Oscar to Rungus.
Well, it's better than what I thought you were going to say, because I thought you were going to say all lives matter.
Dungeon Daddy, go.
Grievances. I don't know. I don't really have anything.
Oh.
Yeah, we're awesome. We know.
I enjoy what we're doing. I enjoy
That
having
wasn't
to
convincing.
think on my feet a little bit to make it all happen, but definitely
Alright.
keeps me on my toes.
And for my grievance is the fact that Nat doesn't have a grievance. That's
oh,
my problem.
Oh, I have a grievance.
Only one.
I
You only get one. You only get one.
I do have a grievance, and it's I don't even know if she's still here, but it's that Katarina's not back yet. That's my grievance.
Well, you know what?
I
If
guess
we,
it's our fault because we should hurry up and rescue her.
you know, if we stop dicking around.
But dicking around's
good-
my third favorite thing.
Hey, so we got a grievance from Good Devil. If anyone else wants to give us their one grievance for the airing of grievances for us to close out on. Why are we ending this on a bad note? Who cares? Good Devil's grievance, just give me my fucking 3080. I want to up my setup so bad.
Whatever.
I
Good Devil probably
feel
doesn't
you.
have the frontside bus necessary to fully take advantage of the advanced shaders and higher memory speed of the 3080. He should probably just get a used 1080 Ti.
I could give you my 386.
Or just, up the whole setup, If you're going to go that way and you're going to get the 3080, you might as well just build a whole new one.
Seriously, like a nice
personally-
i9. Get out of here with that Threadripper BS. Nobody wants AMD. It's the Kia of computers. There, I said what I said.
If we're going to be ending, does it give you raid options for the channels that we follow, or is it just ones that you follow?
It should be if he's streaming from.
I don't have access to the Twitch account. I just have access to stream to it.
Oh,
So I
So
can't,
that would
have
I
to
can't
be-
do any of the
I
other
have to do it.
stuff.
you would have to do it in the chat
I'm
from
gonna do it.
your side. Yep.
So there's actually one of the groups that I follow that actually created the Aliens RPG game, I believe, is running a campaign right now.
Oh.
So if anybody who's interested in checking out how it works, we can definitely go and raid them.
I definitely want to do that, but before we do that, I have
Yeah.
to. The Good Devil's over here telling me that I have 2 monitors, so I just have to whip around and show you 1 and 2 and
Why is there so many me's?
3.
Oh, that one doesn't count. Was that an iPad?
It is an HP. It's probably like
640
8
by
years
480.
old, and it was one of the computers in my wife's setup for her job that she doesn't use anymore, and it's better than not having a third one. And actually, if you look, to get more room on my desk, it is on a coffee table, and there is Mansions of Madness sitting on top of it, or sitting below it. That is what's being used to prop that thing up. He's keeping the case, the power supply, the SSD, and the HD. So basically all the stuff that you can keep that
Oh, that's
doesn't
not
really
the right way.
need to be upgraded. How big is that SSD, by the way?
8 megs.
I got-
Probably only got a 300-watt power supply. He's going to blow a fuse doing that.
The bomb has been planted.
Somebody set us up the bomb.
It is. You know what? I did not believe, Good Devil, I did not believe that, because in my mind, I'm like, oh man, the 3080s just came out. So, and the prices of those, cheaper cards, or the lesser cards, it's going to be great. No, the fucking 3080 is cheaper than the goddamn 2080.
Yeah, because it's not as good. It's made with the coronavirus parts.
Scrap.
All right. I do agree with you, Good Devil. After you showed me, I believe you. But anyway, I think that we've done a good job tonight, guys. We have recapped the first 8 episodes. We talked about everything that we have coming down the pipeline. We dropped a hint about our Hollow stream that is just going to be a normal campaign setting with dudes looking like doofuses. And we aired some grievances. Well, some of us aired some grievances. Another person danced around it.
Oh, also, one other thing I think is worthy of mention is that at some point, I don't know exactly when, we've got to figure out the specifics, but I want to do once in a great while some sort of interactive Discord or Skype or Twitch or Zoom or some sort of interactive after party.
How about
Because
this?
the fun don't stop when 10:30 hits and Bruce Gaskin has to go to bed.
How about this? We set a goal.
A goal. Okay.
Yeah. So pretty soon we're going to be streaming on multiple days. I think we make the goal that once we get affiliate, the people who have helped us get to affiliate and decide to sub with us get access to our post stream. So if you guys want to hang out with us after the stream and see what kind of craziness we talk about afterwards, or tell us, hey, you guys look like shit today, anything you want.
See what he was wearing?
Yeah, exactly. Help us get affiliate. Watch out all the time. Tell your friends.
It gets real political. Spoiler alert, one of us is a cop. Armand, don't let him know you're Jewish.
What?
That's my favorite joke from Caddyshack. At the very beginning of the movie, when Rodney Dangerfield's walking in with his friend Wang, and he's like, "Hey Wang, don't let him know you're Jewish," but he's Japanese, so it's like that's the joke.
Yep. And if you want to know what after the stream looks like, it's kind of this.
It's basically this stream, yeah.
So if you want this every week,
You
help
can
us get
get it.
affiliate.
It's the best way to get it.
If you want us to offend you,
Yeah. Get us to a point where you can also give us money.
I haven't offended anyone today, Moist.
You're gonna offend someone anytime you say moist.
Diversity hire.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I think we really should. We went 15 minutes longer than Rungus ever lets us go.
That's true. He's always DMing us like, "Hey, can we call? It's getting close to bedtime."
We did start a little late though.
Hmm.
Did we?
A little bit.
We started
We did.
closer to on time than we normally do.
And we also had some technical difficulties at the beginning because someone doesn't know how to stream. I thought giving you the tech job would have been the easy thing.
Oh, mm-hmm. Oh, where'd Armand go?
Oh no, don't do that to me.
Oh, his
Bring me
audio's
back.
probably still there.
Yeah, let's not mess with the audio. You're having issues with that.
Yeah, we're not touching the audio. I guess I'll bring him back.
All right, let's get ready for a raid.
Yep, let's go ahead and give a raid, guys. Thanks a lot for
Do I have to
hanging out.
press
Let's give you
stop streaming?
let's give you some
Yes.
FC all. Let's give you all 100 for sticking it out with us because this has been a roller coaster ride of a stream.
There's been ups, there's been downs.
The definition of a roller coaster, yes.
Some curves.
Oh, get
Curves,